At this point, I didn't trust the Black Spirit at all. I must admit, every time that guy then spoke to me for the rest of this game and was like, "Hey, we should go here," I was like, "The fuck we are." So as of recent, I've had a couple of messages on Discord and a few comments that I've seen on the YouTube channel on other videos asking about my BDO journey. How am I finding the integration playing this game for the first time? And I think that's a very interesting topic because it's something that a lot of people struggle with when coming into BDO for the first time. Now, full disclosure, this is not my first time attempting to play this game. I spent about 30 to 40 hours trying to get into BDO over my many attempts and just failing. I'd either get to a point where I don't know where I'm going, don't know what I'm doing, I'd burn out, I'd pick the wrong class, and all in all, it just wasn't a good time. Then, about the 40-hour mark when I started to try again, something just clicked for me. I don't know what it is. We're at about 103, 104 hours now, solely spent playing on the Guardian. As you can see here, she's level 61 right now, fully awakened, season pass complete. We're at a point now where we've got our gear upgrades here. We've just finished the season pass. Got a few bits going on, nothing too crazy. We're just working on gear score, completing quests, that sort of thing. So, let me let you into my mind's eye, okay? My true, I guess, take on what the new player experience is like. So where do we begin then? So let's start with the season server start, because that's essentially where I started. That's probably where most new people start when they come to the game. Seasonal servers offer a lot of benefits, mainly enhanced experience is probably the one you're going for initially, life skill experience, that sort of thing. I don't know the whole scope, I'm fairly new. You essentially make your character, you spend 3 working days in the character development, character creation screen as God intended. You adjust every single slider known to man. You then decide that, okay, I should probably play this game now as I've been, on this character development screen for quite a while. You start progressing levels very early on. It's very, very apparent early on that combat is a huge, huge focus in BDO, and my god, does it do the combat very well. Over and above all else, if you come to this game for one thing, fuck me, let it be the combat, because I'm telling you now, you will not be disappointed. You start earning some levels, start earning some skill points, you kind of get the general lay of the land, the UI, how to allocate your skills, and you start, I guess, just mainly practicing your combos, because this game, it's not a hotbar situation. You can hotbar certain things, but mainly you're pressing a predetermined set of keys to combine them into a fluid motion, I guess, to execute combat, and that's what you'll continue to do, and gradually you'll get better and better and better at that. Now, as I started to play more, I started to get used to this a lot more. I was kind of getting used to the lay of the land. I was getting a few gear upgrades here and there. Everything seemed fairly simple to begin with. It was like, well, I can't really understand if this is the general pace of the game. I can't really understand why people have so much of an issue when getting into Black Desert. And to be honest with you, it wasn't until around level 40-ish, that I started to realise, I haven't changed my gear in a very, very long time, and I couldn't quite work out why. Now, to preface this, the game had told me at this point that, hey, that gear you've got, you may want to upgrade it. But in my heart of hearts, I'm thinking, okay, I could upgrade this piece of blue gear, but for anyone that's ever played an MMO, if you're looking at blue gear, it typically then goes to yellow, orange, luminous blue, whatever. Do I really want to waste my materials upgrading a shitty blue item that I'm then going to change in a day or two's time? Not really. Little did I know, though, that the only way that I would be able to change my gear at that point through the season was to fully upgrade that piece of gear and essentially evolve it into the next tier, which I didn't really feel, and shoot me if it was, but I didn't really feel was that clear. So that was kind of the first point of contention where I was like, okay, perhaps I need to dive away from the game, research some stuff online, and then come back to it. Now, at this point, it's very, very clear that the game is big, it's daunting, unfamiliar, but I mean, it's enjoyable. I'm still having a really, really good time. And I'm also pleased to say that even now, all these hours in, I'm probably having a better time now than I ever was before. So as I said, I'm running from point A to point B. I'm kind of getting the lay of the land. I'm getting used to my mount. The mounts in this game feel great, especially the horse that I've got, which is this bad boy over here, which I'm pretty sure 99.9% of the population of the game have got. But anyway, I'm going from point to point. I'm enjoying it. I'm getting the lay of the land, finding landmarks, getting used to NPCs, storage, the general market, blacksmiths, getting to know my class a lot more, and things are just starting to just seep in. Things are just starting to go, okay, all right, I can kind of kind of see now. I'm getting comfortable. I'm getting into my MMO comfort state. And I could really see myself playing this game for the long term at this point. So at this point, I'm just chilling. I'm just thinking, wow, like, oh, God, this game is a breeze. This is easy. It's pointing me where I need to go. Yeah, there's a lot of quests. There's a lot of a lot of things that need clicking, but you know, it's a genteel pace. I'm being pointed from point A to point B. I'm ticking quests off as I go. I'm getting rewarded. Every enemy I hit seems to level me up, which is pretty insane. So I don't go too heavy on the combat. I don't want to grind too quickly because I don't want to be too out-leveled for the main story. And I didn't know at that time that wasn't really a massive deal. Then I get to a point where I'm starting to do so many quests that my Black Spirit's like, hey, good idea. Let's go to the desert. Why not? Let's just go and see what, see what those guys are, what they're doing. Let's go and pick up what they're putting down. So me being me, I'm not going to argue with something that has seemingly just come out of my ass. So we go into the desert and, yeah, there's no navigation in the desert. I've come from a fully navigated, someone holding my hand. I'm very much bowling with the rails up for the majority of the game, and then it's like, boom, desert. Oh, by the way, your horse, ain't gonna cut it here, buddy. Ain't gonna cut it. So not only am I lost, I can't use my faithful, trusty companion that well in the desert. And at this point, I'm like, okay, we might be lost. We out here, boys. We are out here. So after many hours, and it generally does feel like hours of traipsing through the desert, trying to beeline and trying to bring up my map and trying to beeline to somewhere that looks like a place to go. I finally find civilization. I'm like, cool, okay, I've overcome a hurdle. I felt good. Okay, there was a challenge presented and I felt good, but at this point I didn't trust the Black Spirit at all. I must admit, every time that guy then spoke to me for the rest of this game and was like, hey, we should go here, I was like, the f*** we are. So after a while it was quite apparent that this is the game's way of introducing you to all of these different areas, and as you can see there is a, there's a metric ton of miles that you need to cover. That's before you get introduced to something that is going to help you so much. But if you don't do it when you're in the area that you can take the quest, it is going to absolutely fry your brain. So imagine covering all this area, okay? Each and every single one of these spots I've ran to, I've rode on horseback, I've mounted a chicken and held onto its quiff to get from A to B, not realizing the entire time after completing about 3 quest lines here, I can take a quest that leads me to a place called the Magnus. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but the Magnus is essentially like bread with butter, okay? So BDO is the bread and Magnus is the butter. They just go together, okay? If you're not doing this questline, you're not playing the game. And what it does is it basically opens up a fast travel network underground. You jump into a well, don't ask, a lot of well diving. You jump into a well and you can see I've got fast travel points here all over the place in major sort of key locations and cities. So that was the first moment where I was like, maybe I'm not playing the game correctly. Maybe I'm the problem. Okay, now let's park that for a second. So, let's say we've done that. We've done a lot of, how many quests have I done here? Does it say hide completed quests? Let's show. Completed quests. I have done, on this character, on this character, I've done 1,263 quests. I'm not even sure I'm supposed to do that many. What I was doing was following my nose. I was following a main story that just seemed to be popping up and suggesting a different quest to me at different times, and this is where the issue lies. This is where things started to get a little bit slippery, because after a while, I'm thinking, all I've really done is quests. I don't really know, is this normal? Is this where I'm supposed to be going? Should I be doing 1,263 quests before I actually do anything else? Because I'm looking at the map and I'm thinking, oh, there's a lot of enemies here. There's a lot of places that I can potentially go and see. There's world bosses. Look at all this cool stuff. And I was just going from A to B, not realizing that majority of those quests you don't even really have to do. It's nice to do them on a character to get certain rewards. And don't get me wrong, there was one area which I had to fight a dragon boss. Don't know the name of the area. That was really cool, going through that storyline, and that was quite rewarding. But otherwise, it felt a little bit menial. It felt like I was just going through the motions. So, long story short, I've got to my awakening at 56. Level my character up some more, grinded all the way to 61, claimed some crazy rewards from this little widget down here, that then said, hey, you've reached level 61. You know that gear that you've got? If you graduate the season, you can have some new gear. You can have a black star weapon and a black star other weapon. So I'm like, hey, I'm not going to not do that. But before I do that, I'm going to research which one I need, because it sure as shit isn't going to tell me in this game. So I Googled, and as an Awakening Guardian, it seemed to make more sense for me to take my main hand and the pen being my Awakening weapon, as that is typically what I use. But this is where the minefield really, really opens up. This is where you get to a point where I think it makes or breaks people in this game. When you graduate from a season, you think to yourself, okay, I've gone through the hurdles of learning the gear. I've gone through the hurdles of learning my character. I've gone through the hurdles of learning which quests I need to be taking, which areas I need to be going to. Then, holy pop-ups, man. There is so much in this game when you graduate to take. It's actually insane. I was getting, my phone was ringing. I had Jatina on this phone. I had Fugar on this phone. I had pop-ups from my dailies to collect. Everyone's saying, hey, you know that hard work you did to upgrade all that gear? Do you want this boss coupon? You want this, don't you? You see this? Give me your gear and I'll give you a new shiny weapon. The only issue with that is every motherfucker and their mum was trying to give me different gear. In fact, if you look here, I've got a gift, Traveller from the Abyss. I got this from the Magnus questline. Here, selectable boss armor you can tick. Okay, boss gear exchange coupon. I've already used one of these and I've still got more. I had a chest, by the way. This blue chest, it was like a resplendent star or an amazing star or something that quite literally gives me a full set of boss gear, weapons, everything. And I'm like, what am I supposed to be taking? And of course now every single accessory, every single armor, weapon has got a different material it needs to upgrade. There's now Caphras stones, there's these black stones. You've then got accessories which require other accessories to upgrade. You then got to bear in mind that if you upgrade, your durability is going to change, which you need memory fragments for, or some other stones to repair. Hell, even some items that I've got now require some sort of Essence of Dawn to upgrade. I've gone from like one material, I've gone from like one blackstone, you know, and a couple of maybe cronstones, which I really shouldn't be using, I've stopped using now, but I've gone from blackstones to cronstones to now like every material under the sun. And whilst it's very, very exciting to be looking at different things and kind of trying to get a grip on everything this game has to offer, once you graduate the season, it is just like a tidal wave, dude. It is very much like, here, you know, that's a taste. That's just a minor, tiny little taste of the game. Now, the armbands are off, buddy. You're now bowling with the rails down. Yeah? It's all on you. And this is where I'm at in the game. This takes me to the present day, present moment. Right now, I am thoroughly enjoying myself, but I have no clue what I'm doing. If I'm being honest with you, I feel like a Labrador. I've got no idea where I am, no idea what I'm doing, but I know I'm enjoying it. I guess that's where we'll leave it. That's the new player experience. As always, if you like this sort of video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.